The new terror warning in the United States that we reported earlier raises new concerns for more than 100 terror investigators working out of Chicago's West Side FBI headquarters.
Our chief correspondent Jay Levine joins us with an original report on Chicago being a terror target. I'm sure this is very disconcerting news for a lot of people to hear.
Well, there's a lot of concern, Rob and Kate, and an admission that Chicago could not only be the target of an attack, but also a target for terrorist recruiters.
In the history of terrorism, Chicago has always been a target.
As proof, Holley pointed to the terrorist publication Inspire's repeated references to Chicago, the recent tweet that ISIS was already here, explosive-packed printers shipped to Chicago addresses, and the deadly terrorist attack in Mumbai planned by Chicagoan David Headley. Are you telling me there are ISIS sympathizers here now that you're watching?
Yeah, there are individuals here that are not only ISIS, but some of these other terrorist groups.
Like Khorasan, whose bases we hit last night. Their plans, and those revealed in Australia last week, could be signs that the ISIS terror campaign is spreading.
Just goes to show that this is not just something that happens elsewhere.
We're also seeing a sophisticated internet video propaganda war. The popular American video game Grand Theft Auto modified to send a message.
You can see them now digging their own graves in the
And what appears to be an American in their new video, Flames of War.
We're not against Americans for just being American. We are against evil.
They also use social media to recruit.
If you guys only knew how much fun we have over here, this is the real Disneyland.
When you look at these videos, do they surprise you?
I think what should surprise us is their sophistication, but what the better question is how are we going to counter them and how are we going to react to them? What happens when these individuals who are potentially fighting overseas decide to come back here?
But a Chicago lawyer and Loyola professor with close ties to the Muslim community says be vigilant, but don't overreact.
What I'd be fearful of is creating new law out of a reaction to the beheading of 2 American journalists. And that's not to say that's not an outrage. To overreact is almost, I think, playing into the hands of ISIS.
We are doing our best to safeguard against such people.
Which could be targeting members of Osama Jamal's Bridgeview Mosque and their children, who we saw playing outside the Mosque Foundation school.
We will continue to educate our young people and clarify for them the misconceptions that ISIS and the like-minded of ISIS trying to promote, trying to convince others.
If it gets to that point where the rhetoric is problematic, our imams will report that person to the necessary law enforcement.
You say if, but has it happened?
It has happened, and they have reported such individuals.
Are you more concerned about the homegrown terrorist in the basement on the internet plotting an attack, or those overseas coming back with U.S. passports?
Can I say yes to both? I'm concerned about both of them.
Concern perhaps heightened by events in Australia and new threats and warnings here. While Bob Holley admits the FBI's already got a lot on its plate, political corruption, white-collar crime, and increasingly inner-city violence, terrorism, he says, protecting Chicagoland is our top priority. Rob and Kate.
You know, it's a little bit difficult. You know, up until maybe a month or 2 ago, they weren't really on the general public's radar at all. And here they are, well-financed, with those slick videos, recruiting people, doing that sort of thing. It's a little bit scary.
New ones popping up all the time. Did any of us ever hear of Khorasan before last night?
Right.
They've got to be wary, and that's why you got 100 people working on it, and they have been working on it for years.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.